First of all, to the fact that the plague doesn't need to come nigh your dwelling. Well, of course, that's from Psalm 91, and it's a great place to start this discussion about what our rights and privileges are under our covenant with God, if we believe, if we appropriate by faith, if we change our viewpoint of daily life and reality to accommodate this truth, then no plague will come nigh your dwelling. Starts off with a very revealing verse. The first verse clearly makes the case that he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And then it goes on to talk about your relationship with the Lord being defined as dwelling and abiding. To dwell doesn't mean you go build a house next door to the Lord. To dwell means to remain, to abide, to stay. So if you dwell in the secret place of the Lord, this wonderful place, if you dwell there, what does that really mean? How does that take shape, practically speaking, if it doesn't have a literal physical outworking, like building a house next door to him? It means that this is your overriding consciousness where your life's experiences are concerned. Walking through your day with a consciousness of the abiding presence of the Lord in your life. It takes practice to do that. You don't get saved one day and all of a sudden that presence is always known to you. It's always a part of your paradigm and viewpoint of life. There are times when you drift away a little bit. He never leaves you. He never forsakes you, but you'll drift away from him a little bit in your thinking, in your feeling, in your decision making. But he says you can abide there, dwell there, by having this pervasive consciousness, even if it's subliminal. Because obviously our minds have to be actively engaged, at least the right side of your brain, in what you're doing. If you're flying an airplane, if you're an accountant, doing the numbers, if you're engaged in whatever business activity it is, part of you is going to have to be aware of what you're doing. That's where you've got to focus your thought. But somewhere down here, there's that comforting awareness, God's with you. He's never going to leave you, and he's never going to forsake you. And when you arrive at a place of this sort, and you dwell with him, then you qualify for the verse that I think it's verses 9 and 10 that say, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, the psalmist is saying, he's my refuge, and because you have made the Most High your habitation, meaning that's where you live, that's where your life emanates from, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. And this is a practice that you develop over time.